All right, my Sagittarius friends, how are you today? Happy New Year to you. We've got a big January ahead of us. Aaron here bringing your monthly horoscope for January of 2020. All right, this is for Sagittarius Sun, Sagittarius Moon, Sagittarius Rising. If you're new to the channel, please check it out. We've got daily horoscopes going on every single day, all right, that are going to dive deeper into all of these aspects that are going to really highlight some of the stuff that's going on. So we have a jam-packed 2020, a lot of energy going on in the start of the year here in January, okay? A lot of clearing out of the old, embracing some of the new, which is really good. Since September of 2019, you've been dealing with a lot of energy in your 12th house, which is Scorpio, okay? So we had this Scorpio retrograde, it was like one after another. Venus went through, then the sun, then Mercury. Mercury retrograded. It was there for a very, very, very long time in a place it doesn't like to be. So it's like clearing out the cobwebs of the attic, and it's just like, is this job ever going to get done? Well, the exciting news is Mars is the last lingering element to it, is finally leaving your 12th house and entering into your first house of Sagittarius on the 3rd. On the 1st and 2nd, though, we have Mercury, our planet of communication and information, lining up with Jupiter. Okay, so it's happening later on the 1st and then into the 2nd of January. All right, let me show you the chart here for a second to get a little better of a glimpse. And this is going to happen in your 2nd house. Okay, this is a money year for you Sagittarians. I'm very excited for you. Holy smokes, some of you are going to become millionaires this year. All right, not everyone, but some of you are definitely going to be hitting the jackpot. Okay, so Mercury, our planet of communication, I've got this, if you look up here, I've got this set on the 11th. That's when some big energy is happening here between Saturn and Pluto. But so on the 1st and 2nd, Mercury here, planet of communication information, is going to be meeting up with Jupiter in Sagittarius, in the sign of Capricorn, excuse me. Jupiter is the ruling planet of Sagittarius, where it has been for a full year for you. And in the beginning of December, moved into Capricorn. Okay, again, your 2nd house. So this is bringing abundance to your financial situation, which is also an interesting aspect. As the last time that Jupiter was in Capricorn was 2007 to 2008, where we had a bit of a recession, okay? Now, there's a lot of things that are going on astrologically that can kind of foreshadow some similar elements of that happening, but to this energy for you, it seems that there's going to still be yet an abundance, or even through scarcity, there's going to be an abundance of income coming your way, so it's very exciting. So Mercury first meeting up with Jupiter, our planet of abundance, your ruling planet, is saying like, look, there's new ways to create money. There's new avenues to create money. There's new ways to get the things that I want in life, okay? So that's happening the 1st and 2nd. On the 3rd, Mars finally leaves Scorpio. Your 12th house enters your 1st house. Whoa, thank God, right? It's like a long time coming. And now we're putting our foot on the gas and accelerating, Mars, our planet of acceleration, and saying like, look, I'm feeling me now. I've cleared through the shadow work. I've cleaned the attic. I've cleaned the basement. I've cleaned, seemingly everything that I was able to clean. And now I can focus on the new tasks at hand. It's just like cleaning up an art space in order to make new paintings. All right, I don't know, that's just the analogy that came to me. So it's just like, okay, we're done with the cleaning. We're done. Now we have the permission and the freedom to move forward with whatever it is that we need to do, which is really, really exciting. Now, on the 8th and 9th, Mercury is going to meet up with the Sun. Okay, so Mercury, again, our planet of communication, gets to meet up with the hero of our story, the Sun, in your 2nd house. Again, all about finances and like, look, there's again new ways to come across the money that we need to get. There's new ways to get the things that we need. And with Mars now in your 1st house, you have all of the energy and excitement that you need to get that job done. So on the 9th, there's going to be a lunar eclipse. Okay, so this is interesting. With all of this abundance that I'm talking about that's coming on, there's also a sense of like, do I need that? For example, when I was a young kid, I wanted a Lamborghini Countach. It's a $300,000 car. Now, as a man, there's no way I would, if I had $300,000, would I be spending that money on a Lamborghini? You know, it's like there is so many other things that I could buy with this. So this lunar eclipse, you know, lunar eclipses or just eclipses in general are supercharged new moons and full moons. So the lunar eclipse is a full moon. Okay, so the sun is going to be connecting with the south node in your second house of income, of material possessions and things. Okay, so it's letting go of that which we do not need, letting go of the idea that we don't need the Lamborghini for some sort of status quo, or it's like we oftentimes spend money that we don't have to impress people that we don't really like. Just to like show off our stuff. So this lunar eclipse is highlighting that as the moon's going to be in Cancer, connected with the North Node, and that's in your 9th house, about information. It's about higher knowledge, higher learning, as well as about travel. Okay. So it's just like there might be some new information coming in that's just like, yeah, even if I hit that milli, would I still buy the things that I wanted to buy even last year? Again, dealing with all that shadow work stuff, it's like we've kind of cleared out some of the things, again, that we thought we wanted that we don't really want anymore. So the sun connecting with the south node is really highlighting that, like, okay, it would be nice, but does it really serve me and where I'm going and what I'm doing with my life? That's up to you. I leave that up to you, okay? So that's the 9th, is the lunar eclipse. On the 11th and 12th, now that's where I've got this chart set, is the 11th here. I'll come back. So on the 11th, Mercury begins to meet up with Saturn and Pluto. Now, this is a very important degree right here, because right now, as I'm making this video on the 1st of January, Saturn is at the 21st degree. Saturn is literally right here, right now, at 21 degrees 40. And it's about surrendering. Again, just like we talked about a moment ago, surrendering the idea that I need this Lamborghini to, and again, use that analogy in whichever way serves you best. Surrendering the idea that I need this material thing to get me where I'm going, that I need this material thing for people to think that I am the leader. To release the idea that I need this, to surrender, to gracefully surrender. And it's just like, yeah. I mean, I can tell you, here's another random one. I literally just got into a conversation with some people the other day. I'm an audio mixer for my career. I work in film and television. And, I left work and met up with some friends. And this, gentleman had seen my bag, and we're meeting met with my one friend, and then all of her friends were like, oh, you guys come from like some money background, and this guy's just, oh, well, you have to use this computer, you have to use, these speakers, or you have to have these, $500 headphones and this $2,000. And I'm just like, yeah, no, and it's like, that's really cool if that's what you want to spend the money on. But this is like surrendering the idea that you don't need those things to get along with those people, or those people, there's nothing wrong with an abundance of material wealth or an abundance of really nice things. Nothing wrong with that at all. So that's not what I'm implying here. But it's saying like we don't have to have those things to impress people. He's like, oh my God, you don't have an iPhone? You don't use a Mac computer for this? It's like, nope. I don't, and then the conversation flowed really naturally and great. And it was interesting stuff. But there was no sense of like, oh, now I have to go get a Mac computer so this guy will accept me. You know what I mean? So it's just like it's surrendering this idea. So this energy that's coming up right now on the 11th, or even right now through the 12th when Saturn and Pluto meet up together, and Mercury as well, is surrendering the idea that, again, that we need this material thing, that we have to have the newest iPhone to be popular or to take the best picture with a phone. It's fugazi. It's a farce. You know what I mean? It's just like living in your, in your truth right now is the most important thing. And again, that's why the North Node is up there in Sagittarius, in Cancer in your 9th house, which is, again, about having faith in the journey, about trusting what's unfolding, being more caring, more empathetic, more compassionate, and living in your truth and authenticity. So it's like, do you need the $1 million studio to create a beautiful painting? No, you don't. You can create a beautiful painting with a stick and some mud. That's what this energy is kind of telling us. There's a certain sense of scarcity with abundance that's coming into this. So it's a really beautiful place for this connection to happen. So surrender is what's going on. It's the name of the game of this year. Then further, on the 12th, let me come back here now. On the 12th, when Mercury meets up with Saturn and Pluto. This is the first time this has happened since 1982, 37 years ago. All right. Big connection. So it's like when we choose, we can surrender. When we allow ourselves to surrender, okay, it's where the sun is, where Mercury is. When we allow ourselves to surrender, we get to receive the rewards for us truly being ourselves. We get to receive that recognition. And further, it's like it gives others the insight as well, like, hey, you're a beautiful, amazing, talented, and leader person, this Sagittarius. You're such a leader. You're such a knowledgeable guru that it's just like you don't, it's like showing other people that because you can do with scarcity, that you don't have to have those certain fancy things, it releases them as well. It releases them from thinking that they need it as well. And it's a really powerful connection. So this is like receiving this reward, okay? This reward of acknowledgement. It's like, we see you. We see you, Sagittarius. We see what's going on here. We see what you've been doing. And we see you leading the way. We see you giving your shining light to others. And we really appreciate that. And now we can understand, there's certain things about myself I can let go of because you are being the most authentic you. Really, really cool. Then on the 13th, the sun is going to meet up with Saturn and Pluto at 22 degrees as well, like continuing, the surrender to reward, okay? So that happens on the 13th as well. Venus is going to leave your third house of information and come into your fourth house, which is about home and family. All right, so this is like maybe taking some of this beauty that's happening over here, this material wealth, these good things, these good vibes, and applying them into your home, applying them to your family. How can you give back? Okay, and then on the 24th, or on the 20th, the sun is going to leave Capricorn and enter your third house. All right, so this is like new information coming in. This is connecting with our soul tribe, connecting with our community, connecting the dots, if you will, of information as well as people that are going to aid us in the future of where we're going. Okay. Then we have a new moon on the 24th here in your third house. Again, about your tribe, about your people, about information coming in. A lot of new information coming your way. Kind of coming back to this stuff, of surrender. It's just like, well, when we surrender to open up to this new information this new moon offers a new beginning. Okay, new beginning, a lot of beautiful stuff coming in. So the 13th, the 27th now, Venus is going to connect with Neptune. Okay, so the 20th, the sun moves into Aquarius, your third house. The 24th, we got this new moon. On the 27th, Venus is going to meet up with Neptune. Okay, Venus is everything you love, want, and desire. Neptune is your dreams, your imagination, your creativity, the beautiful poetry and the beautiful films that inspire you. So this is maybe like taking some of this new wealth, this new growth, and applying it to the home with new paintings or redecorating or having the vision to see part of the home differently, right? So it's a really powerful connection when Venus and Neptune meet up. It's one of the loveliest days of the year, the most lovely days of the year. There was a Sun-Jupiter connection, which is like the luckiest day of the year, so to speak, in astrology. And Venus-Neptune is like the loveliest day of the year in astrology. So again, that's happening on the home front. So it's like really connecting deeper with your family. Toward the end of the month, connecting deeper, sinking your hands into your home and applying your attention to the home. Then on the 28th, the moon gets to meet up with Venus and Neptune in Pisces as well to further that. As the emotional moon is what we need, Venus is what we love, want, and desire, and Neptune is about our dreams and our imagination. So the sky is the limit, right? The sky is the limit with this. And then on the 29th, the moon's going to move into Aries, connecting with Chiron. That's going to happen in your 5th house. It's just like there's a new way to talk. There's a new way that I can express myself. There's a new way that, you know, others can perceive me and my personal ego, you know. So it's like healing the ego over the next 5 years, healing this ability to talk, healing the ability to communicate, healing, you know, the concept of self, of considering that, you know, as the Sagittarius, sometimes it's just like, again, it comes off, you know, so your ruling planet is Jupiter. So it's like more, and especially with what's been going on, you know, Jupiter in your sign of last year, it's like more me, and sometimes it's like this balloon expanding, and that more me has pushed other people to the side. Okay, and this Chiron connection down in the 5th house for you, Chiron in Aries, which is about self, you know, it's the baby, the fingers and the toes of the zodiac, the initiation and the spark. So it's just like this is now, you know, in your 5th house of creative self-expression, and it's healing that part of self. That's just like, okay, I'm allowed to reel it in a little bit so that I make room for the other people in my life. You know, my view and my ego, my expression isn't the only way, you know. So it's like there's a lot of interesting healing that's coming in that aspect over the next 6 years. Okay, so that's not going anywhere anytime soon. So on the 29th, the moon's going to move into Aries, move into your 5th house, connecting with Chiron, and giving you that emotional nurturing need that you have for that healing of that part of self. So this is a really, really beautiful and powerful month. You know, there's a sense of abundance, there's a sense of joy, there's a sense of all of this new stuff coming my way. There's a sense of releasing that, like, you know, I don't have to have these things to fit in. I can simply be myself. I don't have to wear my checkbook on my sleeve, you know what I mean, or on a Rolex. And again, there's nothing wrong with those things. There's absolutely nothing wrong with those things if that's what you enjoy in life. You know, we all deserve beautiful and good things. But there's also that idea of like competition through material goods. It's like we can wave goodbye to that, you know, and just truly live in our authentic heart space, and that which we really need material-wise and monetarily will come into us in the most beautiful, beautiful way. Okay? So it's a beautiful start to 2020. Again, Happy New Year to you. Check out the dailies if you're new to this. There's a lot of information diving a little bit deeper into each day. All right, we'll see you tomorrow, my friends. Thank you.